Hey everyone, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets. I am Jared, and this is the premier source for Second Amendment news that you won't hear anywhere else. And today I'm diving into a huge development out of Washington, D.C., where funding for so-called gun violence prevention programs just got cut in half. Should be 100%, but let's break down what's happening, why it matters, and what it could mean for us going forward. Here's the deal. The Trump administration quietly slashed federal support for gun violence prevention programs by nearly 50% for the 2025 fiscal year. That's right, $250 million was available in 2022, and now it's down to $125 million. Now that's a massive cut in funding to programs that were heavily pushed during the defund the police and community violence intervention booms of recent years. These programs were part of Joe Biden's big plan to reduce so-called gun violence through non-policing methods, think local activists or conflict mediators and violence interrupters. Instead of locking up violent criminals, they were paying people just to talk about it. The Biden White House had even launched a White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention that we covered ad nauseum here, with the help of then Vice President Kamala Harris and a bunch of bureaucrats who never touched a firearm in their lives. That office was dismantled on day one of Trump taking office. Of the 145 community violence intervention grants, those are called CVI grants, of the 145 totaling more than $300 million awarded through the U.S. Department of Justice, 69 grants were abruptly terminated. The majority of the CVI grants were originally funded through the 2022 Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was the biggest piece of gun control legislation passed in the previous 30 years, thanks to rhinos like John Cornyn of Texas. The elimination of the CVI programs is part of a broader rollback at the Department of Justice's grant-issuing Office of Justice Programs, which terminated 365 grants valued at $811 million in April, impacting a range of programs. A DOJ official said the gun violence grants were eliminated because they no longer effectuate the program's goals or the agency's priorities. So it looks like the Trump administration is realizing that the money is just a backdoor attempt at taking the Second Amendment from lawful American citizens. Let's not forget, the Biden administration claimed that these programs were essential for reducing crime without increasing incarceration. Yet violent crime is still a problem in major cities where these programs have been heavily funded, places like Chicago, Baltimore, New York, and Philadelphia, to name a few. Now, with federal funding slashed, these cities are being forced to reevaluate just how effective these programs really are, now that the gravy train has stopped. And here's the kicker. Most of this money was going to left-leaning nonprofits, groups that are openly anti-Second Amendment. We're talking about organizations that push gun-free zones, all while criminals walk the streets fully armed. Now, cutting the funding may actually be a good thing if you believe in personal responsibility and real public safety, not virtue signaling budgets and failed experiments. Now, real quick, let's thank today's sponsor, Attorneys on Retainer. If you're ever targeted by the government simply for exercising your Second Amendment rights, you'll want them in your corner. If you carry a firearm for self-defense, you need a team, a legal team that's actually understanding of your rights. AOR is the only law firm in America that specializes in self-defense cases. That is all that they do. They don't take any other cases. If you can reasonably and in good faith assert that you acted in self-defense of yourself or others, they will cover you, period. They've got your back, from red flag orders to self-defense claims in every single state. They don't care if you are traveling into a different state and don't have their concealed carry permit, or if your concealed carry permit is expired. They don't care if you had to happen to have a gun on you that's not on your roster. They don't care, because everybody has the right to defend themselves, and they will defend you in court vehemently. Learn more at the link down below and save $50 off your individual plan sign-up fee, easy for me to say, or $25 off your family plan sign-up fee for a limited time. You got to use code G&G at the link down below. Plus, if you join now, you can lock in your pricing until 2030. That's big because adding these additional benefits that they have added this year, they cost money, and prices are going up across the country. I don't know if you've noticed. So lock in your prices by using my code G&G at my link down below. And when you really need them, they're ready to fight for you and your rights when others won't. Now back to the story. Look, nobody's cheering over increased crime, but let's be honest, throwing money at a problem without holding criminals accountable is just political theater, and it seems like this DOJ is starting to get it. This was all while the federal government continued to harass law-abiding gun owners, gun dealers, and manufacturers while pretending that these programs are the solution. Now, these latest budget cuts show us something important. The leftover morsels of the Biden administration's gun control agenda, they're finally being removed. We have to stay loud, we have to stay involved, we have to stay ready, because Americans voicing their displeasure for what was taking place is the main reason that this is even happening. No government in our history, other than maybe the first, the founders, no government has ever said, you know what, we have too much money, let's take less. Let's harass our citizens less. Our government just doesn't say that. So this happened because we have been loud, we have stayed involved, and we will not let this rest. So share the video, and if you're new here, smash the subscribe button down below. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you never miss a critical update, and drop a comment down below. I want to know this. Do you think that these programs, these gun violence prevention programs, were ever worth the money? Did they ever do anything good? Maybe you think so, because there are people who watch my videos that are not of, the gun culture thought process. Everybody can watch the video. I want to hear, do you think that these programs actually were worth the money? This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets telling you to be safe, stay vigilant, and stay free. I will see you on the next one. Take care.